The eyebrow lamination procedure involves several steps. The first stage, quite important, is the proper delicate preparation of the eyebrows for lamination. For this we use, first of all, micellar water. With it we make a demake-up. We remove dirt from the eyebrow area and slightly around the eyebrows. Then we use the foam to clean the hairs and remove the micellar water residue at the same time. The foam can be worn with a brush or applicator. This should be done very delicately, avoiding damage to the skin in the eyebrow area. We remove the foam residue with a dry cotton pad. In the process of preparing your eyebrows, perform a diagnosis. Determine hair thickness, density and porosity. This will help you to guide the exposure time of the first composition on the eyebrows. Now, the first application. The handy packaging with a pump allows you to dose the necessary amount of solution. One squeeze and you can apply the amount necessary for eyebrow application. The formula has a dense enough consistency that it's easy to apply to the eyebrows with a brush or applicator. Here you choose the tool that you are more comfortable with. Try to apply the solution quickly enough. Literally within 30 to 60 seconds. Once you start applying the solution, you will immediately start counting down the time, so keep a stopwatch at hand. Spread the solution evenly over the hair with a brush or applicator and cover it with cling film. Check the time difference between applying the product to the first and second eyebrow. Next, do the same on the second eyebrow. Squeeze out the required amount of solution, apply with a brush or applicator, and also cover with cling film. Lovely's formulations are designed to work with soft and medium dense eyebrow hairs. The solutions work very delicately on thin and medium thick hairs. It works perfectly, changing the direction and structure of the hairs, making them manageable and soft. Eyebrow lamination is a very dynamic process. You need to keep a constant check on the condition of the hair. How is it changing and how fast is it changing? What do you need to do? Just 3 to 4 minutes after applying the product, gently peel off the film and comb through the hairs with a brush or applicator. Feel if any changes have already occurred in the hair structure. How malleable hair becomes over time. If there is no visual change, then cover again with the film and wait another minute or a minute and a half. Open the film and check again. Do not forget to do the same on the second eyebrow. Orient yourself to the time interval that was between the first application on the first eyebrow and the second eyebrow. The average exposure time for the first solution is 7 to 10 minutes. As you can imagine, this depends on the quality of the brow hairs. The thicker the hair, the more elastic and less porous it is, then the longer the exposure time will be. On thinner hairs, and if they are also porous, the exposure time will be minimal. When you see that the hair structure has changed, it has become soft and pliable, then you can remove the first solution. Be sure to time the amount of time it took to fully soak the first solution. Remove the first solution with a dry cotton pad. The next step is to apply the second solution. It neutralizes the effect of the first solution and starts the process of reconstruction of new disulfide bonds. The second solution has a slightly more fluid consistency than the first, but it is also very easy to apply with a brush or applicator, evenly distributing it on the hair. What's important? Before applying the second formula, brush eyebrow hairs in the direction and shape you need. Only after that, carefully start distributing the second solution. After applying the second solution, please use a new film, not the one you used for the first solution. The second solution has the same amount of time as the first solution. This is important. After the necessary amount of time has passed, we remove the second solution. We do this first with a dry cotton pad and then remove the rest with a slightly damp cotton pad. Please note that the cotton pad should not be very wet, it should be barely damp. Between the second and third step, that is between the application of the second and third solutions, we can have additional steps. This can be an application of Neo Elixir, which is a formula that perfectly restores the structure of the hair. And another step is eyebrow dyeing. In what sequence can this be done? If you have been working with thin, porous hairs, it is recommended to apply Neo Elixir before applying the dye. What does Neo Elixir do? It replenishes keratin voids, preventing excessive pigment filling of the hair. It prevents the hair from darkening during the dyeing process. If this is not necessary, after the second solution, we do the dyeing. We do the coloring with cream dye. Use an oxide not higher than 3%. Select the dye according to the level of tone of the hairs on the eyebrows. After removing the dye, you can apply the Neo Elixir. Apply Neo Elixir to the eyebrows for just 5 to 7 minutes in a small even layer and remove the residue with a dry cotton pad. The next step is the application of the third solution. Apply it very gently with a brush, taking care not to disturb the lined shape of the eyebrow hairs. The third solution has a slight fixing effect. This is good because it allows the hairs for 24 hours without changing their direction. It will allow the disulfide bonds to form finally, which will already hold the hair in the required given shape. I'll summarize the options for carrying out an eyebrow lamination procedure. The first option is when you do only lamination without a dyeing process and no additional hair restoration. This involves de-makeup, using a foam to remove any residual micellar water and fully cleanse the hairs. Then the application of the first solution, the application of the second solution and the application of the third solution. The second option is when we use an additional eyebrow hair restoration with Neo Elixir. We do all the same steps. Preparation of eyebrows for the procedure, application of the first solution, application of the second solution. Then we apply the Neo Elixir for 5 to 7 minutes, remove its remains with a dry cotton disc and then we apply the third solution. Another option is to integrate into the eyebrow dyeing procedure. We do the dyeing between the second and third solutions. Depending on the condition of the eyebrow hairs, we also use Neo Elixir before dyeing or immediately after removing the dye.